Have you ever felt a sudden fire inside you? When someone says something hurtful, or when things don't go the way you wanted? That fire, that heat, that storm in your chest, that's anger. And if you've ever thought to yourself, I don't want to be like this anymore, you are not alone. Welcome to Wisdom of Sparks, a place where ancient Buddhist teachings meet your modern struggles. And today we're going deep into the roots of anger, into the heart of what it means to be free from it. And trust me, if you stay with me till the end, you will never look at anger the same way again. So before we begin, pause, take a breath, and subscribe to this channel right now, because Wisdom of Sparks isn't just a name. It's a journey, a spark that lights the path to your inner peace. And hey, hit the like button if you've ever felt angry and regretted it later. Because today, we're going to end that cycle. The Zen master and the young warrior. There was once a young warrior, fierce, proud, quick to anger. He had heard of a Zen master living in the hills, a man so calm, so unshakable, that even the worst insults never disturbed him. The young warrior went to him and shouted, "You old fool, you're nothing but a coward hiding behind silence." The master said nothing, not a word, not a blink. The warrior kept going. "You're a fraud, you preach peace because you're too weak to fight." Still silence. Finally, out of breath and confused, the warrior asked, "Why don't you respond? Aren't you angry?" The master smiled and said, "If someone offers you a gift and you don't accept it, who does it belong to?" The warrior whispered, "To the one who offered it." "Exactly," said the master. "I do not accept your anger, so it stays with you." Now ask yourself, how many times have you accepted someone else's anger? How many times have you carried the weight of their words, when you could have simply let it go? This story is the first spark, and trust me, there are many more ahead. Why we get angry and why it hurts us. Let's break this down. We get angry when something we expected doesn't happen, when someone doesn't behave the way we want, when life feels unfair, when our ego, that fragile little bubble, gets pricked. But here's the catch. Anger is never really about them. It's always about you. Your reaction, your story, your attachment. And Buddha knew this. He didn't say, "Don't be angry." He said, "Understand your anger, and you'll no longer be its slave." This video will not just tell you why you get angry. It will help you see how to rise above it, how to detach from it, and how to live in peace, even when the world tries to pull you into war. So again, if you're ready to transform your inner world, subscribe now, because every week on Wisdom of Sparks, we dive into stories, teachings, and tools that awaken the calm within you. Don't just be a viewer, be a seeker. Now let's get to the next part, where I'll share one of the most powerful teachings of Buddha, the story of the angry king and the calm monk that changed everything. But first, comment below and tell me, what was the last thing that made you angry? Just write it out. You might feel lighter already. The angry king who met a monk. There was once a king feared by all. His temper was so terrifying that no one dared to speak freely. One day, he summoned a monk known for his deep wisdom. The monk entered the royal court, bowed calmly and stood in silence. The king roared, "Why don't you kneel? Don't you fear me?" The monk said, "Why would I fear a man who is a slave to his own anger?" The entire court gasped. The king stood frozen. For the first time, someone had called him what he truly was, a prisoner wearing a crown. That moment changed him, because sometimes the truth doesn't scream. It simply stands still, just like you can, if you learn to watch the anger, not become angry. Part 1, Why do we get angry? Buddhist perspective. Anger is often misunderstood. In society, it is frequently seen as strength, the ability to react quickly, defend one's ego, assert control. But Buddhism shows us a deeper truth. Anger is pain's bodyguard. It disguises itself as power, but underneath, it is always protecting something vulnerable: fear, disappointment, sadness, betrayal. It arises when our expectations are unmet, or our ego feels threatened. According to the teachings of the Buddha, anger is one of the 3 poisons that corrupt the mind and prevent enlightenment. Greed, lobha, the craving that leads to dissatisfaction. Hatred or anger, divesha, the reaction that leads to destruction. delusion or ignorance, moha, the confusion that blinds us to truth. Among them, anger is perhaps the most volatile. It flares up in a moment, fueled by old wounds and instant reactions, and can destroy relationships, peace of mind, and even one's health. Why does anger arise? The mind clings to identity and expectation. When someone says something offensive, we think they insulted me. But Buddhism teaches us to see things differently. There is nam to be insulted. When we deeply understand non-self, the idea that the self is an illusion, the source of anger dissolves. But this is easier said than done. Let us go into a simple, profound story that illustrates this. Zen story, The Man and the Empty Boat. A Zen master once told this tale. A man was rowing his boat peacefully in the middle of a calm lake. Suddenly, another boat came crashing into his. He turned around angrily to shout at the careless rower. But to his surprise, the boat was empty. The anger vanished. He realized there was no one to blame. The boat had probably come loose and was drifting in the water. The realization brought peace, not because the crash didn't happen, but because he let go of the need to assign blame. Now imagine, what if every person who hurts you is just like that boat? Drifting, empty, unawares, driven by their own pain, wounds, and karma. Would you still be angry? Or would you smile gently and keep rowing forward in peace? The Buddha's wisdom teaches us, you are not your anger, you are the awareness watching it. When you understand this deeply, anger cannot control you. You become like the vast ocean, deep, calm and unmoved by surface storms. Let's continue this journey into the roots of anger and the Buddhist way to transform it. Part 2, Breathing Through Anger, the 3-minute space. In the heat of anger, what we need is not more reaction, but space. Space to pause, space to breathe, space to choose a wiser path. In Buddhist meditation, one of the most effective practices is the 3-minute breathing space. It is simple, short, and powerful. The 3-minute breathing space. First minute, acknowledge. Pause, name the emotion. Say to yourself, I am feeling angry right now. Do not suppress it, do not deny it. Simply name it with awareness. Just this one act of acknowledging without judgment begins to disarm the emotion. Second minute, breathe. Bring all your attention to your breath. Feel the inhale, feel the exhale. Let your breath become your anchor, the lighthouse in the storm. Don't try to change your breath, just observe it. This observation connects you back to the present moment. Now widen your awareness. Notice your body, where is the tension? Your thoughts, what stories are playing? Your surroundings, what sounds and sensations are present? Ask gently, what am I really feeling under this anger? Often you will discover sadness, fear, shame, or unmet needs. With that awareness, compassion arises. Science behind the practice. Modern neuroscience shows that anger activates the amygdala, the brain's alarm system. This causes a flood of stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol, which shut down the prefrontal cortex, the thinking, logical part of the brain. But mindfulness practices like this breathing space calm the amygdala and restore the thinking brain. This is not just ancient wisdom, it is confirmed by modern science. Buddha and the Angry Man, a story of silence. One day, a man came to the Buddha and hurled insults at him. You are a fraud, a deceiver, a fool pretending to be wise. The Buddha remained silent. After a while, the man stormed off. Later, the Buddha's disciples asked him, Master, why didn't you respond? The Buddha smiled and said, if someone offers you a gift, and you do not accept it, who does it belong to? They replied, to the one who offered it. Exactly, said Buddha. I did not accept his anger, so it stayed with him. This story teaches us a powerful truth. You don't have to accept every insult. You don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. You can simply observe and breathe. Let's explore the heart-opening practice of compassion next. Part 3, Tonglen, transforming pain into compassion. In Tibetan Buddhism, there is a unique practice called Tonglen, meaning giving and receiving. At first glance, it seems counterintuitive. Breathe in pain, breathe out peace. Yes, it's a radical act of compassion, both for others and for ourselves. Let me guide you through it. Tonglen practice. Sit comfortably, bring to mind someone who is suffering, It could be you, or someone you are angry with. As you inhale, imagine you are breathing in their suffering like a black smoke. As you exhale, imagine you are sending them love, healing, and light. Inhale pain. Exhale compassion. Do this for a few minutes. You will feel a strange shift. Instead of resisting pain, you are transforming it. You become a channel for peace. Story: the stone in the river. A young monk once asked his master, "Why is it so hard to let go of anger?" The master handed him a heavy stone and said, "Carry this and walk into the river." He did. It was hard. Then the master said, "Now drop the stone." The monk let it go. The stone sank. He felt free. The master smiled and said, "That's how simple letting go is. The only hard part is choosing to do it." Tonglen gives us that choice to let go, not by resisting but by transforming. Let us now dive into deeper healing through forgiveness and karma. Part 4, the power of forgiveness, freeing yourself from the chains of anger. If anger is a burning coal, then forgiveness is the release. Yet often, we believe forgiveness is something we give to others. The truth is more liberating. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. When you hold onto resentment, you suffer more than the person you resent. Buddhism teaches that clinging to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Forgiveness in Buddhism is not about forgetting or excusing harm. It is about letting go of the inner burden, the emotional weight, that keeps us trapped in the past. Buddhist reflection practice, forgiveness meditation. Sit quietly and take a few deep breaths. Repeat these phrases silently. For someone who hurt you, I forgive you, I will release you, I'll let you go. For yourself, I forgive myself, I am human, I let myself heal. For all beings, may we all be free from the pain of resentment. May we all live with peace. Let each phrase settle in your heart. Even if you don't feel it fully, the intention itself begins to soften the mind. Zen parable, 2 monks and the woman. 2 monks were traveling together. One was old, the other young. They came across a river where a woman was struggling to cross. The older monk picked her up, carried her across, and set her down. The monks continued walking. Hours later, the younger monk said, "You shouldn't have carried her. We are forbidden to touch women." The older monk replied, "I set her down hours ago. Are you still carrying her? How many people and situations are we still carrying? Every grudge, every memory of betrayal, every injustice, they all add weight." The Buddha taught us, hatred does not cease by hatred. Hatred ceases by love. This is an eternal law. Forgiveness isn't weakness. It's the strongest act of liberation for yourself. Part 5, Karma and the Mirror of Anger. What you see is what you carry. Karma means action, every thought. Word and deed plants a seed. Anger, too, is a karmic seed. If not transformed, it grows into suffering, again and again. But Buddhism gives us a unique perspective. Every person who injures you is a mirror showing you your own wounds. Reflection exercise, the mirror of anger. Next time you feel angry, pause and ask, what exactly is triggering me? Where have I felt this before? What part of me feels hurt or unseen? Often the anger is not about the present event, but about old pain resurfacing. The law of cause and effect. The Buddha taught that all actions have consequences. When we respond to anger with anger, we multiply suffering. But when we respond with understanding, we break the cycle. Here's a practical application. Imagine someone shouts at you unjustly. You feel the surge of reaction. But instead of shouting back, you pause. You breathe. You respond gently. It seems you're upset. Would you like to talk about it? Even if they continue being angry. Your karmic imprint changes. You plant peace. Over time, this transforms your entire life. Buddhist legend, Angulimala the murderer. One of Buddha's most famous disciples was Angulimala, a man who had killed hundreds. When he encountered the Buddha, he was ready to strike, but Buddha simply said, "I have stopped Angulimala, have you?" Angulimala dropped his weapon. In that moment, something changed in him. He asked for teachings and eventually became a monk, a man of peace. No matter how deep the anger, transformation is always possible. This is the heart of Buddhist philosophy. You are not your past. You are not your anger. You are the awareness that can choose a different future. Part 6, Mastering the Mind, how to stop reacting and start responding. The mind is a wild elephant, angry, impulsive, untamed. But Buddhism doesn't seek to suppress the mind, it teaches us how to train it. The power of response versus reaction. A reaction is automatic. It comes from pain, ego, past trauma. A response is conscious. It comes from wisdom, space, and awareness. The Buddha said, "You are what you think. With your thoughts you make the world." So if we want peace, we must cultivate peace in the mind first. Buddhist practice, the sacred pause. Before reacting, stop, breathe in deeply, count to 5. Ask, what would the calm version of me do right now? This simple pause gives you power, the power to choose your response, rather than be ruled by your emotion. Zen story, the angry samurai and the monk. An angry samurai stormed into a monastery. He yelled at the monk, "Do you know who I am? I can kill you in an instant." The monk calmly looked at him and said, "And do you know who I am? I can let you kill me without a flicker of fear." The samurai, stunned, dropped his sword. Lesson, inner calm is more powerful than any sword. Stillness disarms chaos. Part 7, dealing with difficult people, the path of compassion. Difficult people are our greatest teachers. Why? Because they expose what's unfinished in us. If someone's behavior makes you rage, it is revealing your pain, not just theirs. Buddhist insight, they are suffering too. Every hurtful person is a hurt person. When you can see this, truly feel this, anger transforms into compassion. Seeing the other is seeing yourself. Thich Nhat Hanh. Compassion practice. Close your eyes, think of someone difficult. Now say silently, "They are suffering just like me. May they be free from their suffering. May I not add to their pain." This practice slowly dissolves anger like water melting salt. Zen anecdote, the robber who changed. A robber once broke into a monastery, but the monk said, "Take what you need, and I pray for your peace." The robber was shocked. No anger, no resistance. He left but returned years later, not to steal but to learn. Sometimes your calm can be the moment someone else wakes up. Part 8, Rewiring the Brain, Daily Habits to Heal Anger. Science now confirms what Buddhism taught 2,500 years ago. What you focus on grows. Neuroplasticity and meditation. Regular meditation rewires the brain. It reduces reactivity and grows the part responsible for empathy and self-awareness. Daily mindfulness habit. Wake up and sit for 10 minutes. Focus on breath, let thoughts pass. When anger arises, name it. This is anger. Watch it, don't act on it. This process builds awareness, the ultimate antidote to unconscious anger. Zen reflection. Monkey mind versus Buddha mind. Your thoughts are like monkeys, loud, restless, jumping. But underneath the noise is Buddha mind, still, deep, peaceful. Anger is a monkey thought. Don't fight the monkey, just let it swing and fade. Return to your breath, that is home. Part 9, Building a Life of Peace, Buddhist Lifestyle Wisdom. To stay calm, your lifestyle must support peace. You cannot meditate for 10 minutes and then live in chaos the rest of the day. Daily practices that reduce anger. Simple living, less clutter, less stress. Right speech, avoid gossip and harsh words. Right action, help others, do good deeds. Right intention, ask yourself, does this come from love or ego? Peace is not the destination, it is the path. Every choice you make either builds peace or breaks it. Story, the fisherman and the empty boat. A monk was meditating on a lake. Suddenly, a boat hit his canoe. He exploded in rage until he realized the boat was empty. It had drifted with the current. He laughed. All anger comes from believing someone meant to hurt you. Now, whenever he felt triggered, he whispered, "Empty boat." You too can float through life without letting others sink you. Part 10, the final realization, you are not your anger. The greatest illusion we hold is this: I am angry, but the truth is, I feel anger, but I am not anger. You are the sky. Anger is just a storm, it passes. Meditation mantra. Say aloud, I am the observer. I am not my thoughts. I am peace, I choose peace. Let this become your new identity. Zen master's words. A student asked the master, how do I stop being angry? The master smiled. Drop the story, keep the lesson. We are angry not because of what happened, but because we keep retelling the story. Let it go, keep the wisdom, move forward. Final thoughts, a life beyond anger. You've walked through 10 teachings. You've sat with your pain. You've breathed with your rage. Now you've seen that beyond the fire is silence. Beyond the storm is stillness. Beyond anger is you. Thank you for being on this journey with Wisdom of Sparks. If this touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment. What was your favorite teaching? Together, let's keep planting seeds of peace. The Buddha said, "Better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace." Let's speak those words. Let's live that peace. Namaste.